everybody. Welcome to Bubble Talk with Burge. Are you ready to get burged? I'm ready to burge you. Again, I'm still getting used to the verb, but anywho, Bubble Talk with Burge is about the subconscious thoughts that keep you from getting what you want. It's like the bubble above your head in a cartoon character, and that bubble above your head is that thing that, hi Heather, hi Christina, it's that bubble above your head. That is your subconscious thought, right? And that is what is really running the bus. Because a lot of times what happens is we say these affirmations, or we say we want to have a great relationship, or we want to have more money, or we want to have more clarity or purpose in our life. And oftentimes maybe we don't get it exactly the way we want it. So that's our bubble talk, meaning that's the subconscious thoughts that might be running the bus, okay? So that's why I call this Bubble Talk with Burge. So today, oh my goodness, I have to share something pretty interesting that happened already today. One thing is, Facebook. Okay, so I'm writing a book, and it's on relationships, and because our module that we're in with our Conscious Leadership Academy, which is the year-long membership, 12 months for Essence of Being, okay? We're in the middle of, or we're starting the relationship module, okay? Hi, Denise. And so because of that, I put out an ad on Facebook about relationships, and I titled it, which is the title of my new book that will be coming out about relationships, so I thought that would be appropriate, right? Men are dogs and the woman is always right. Well, Facebook and the ad decided to shut it down because of the hate rhetoric. So I thought, that's interesting. I wonder why that happened. Clearly, to me, it's a metaphor. I don't believe men are dogs, and the woman is always right. But it means something, you know, and that's why you have to get the book, right? But it's a metaphor. So it was really interesting that I had it up because that's what my power call is about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm doing a power call for you, and I do that every third Wednesday of every month, and tomorrow night's call is about relationships, and men are dogs and the woman is always right, and I'm going to explain what all that means, right, on the call. So if you haven't registered for that, go to essenceofbeing.com and register for the call. It's free for tomorrow night, so you too can find out what it means and do some experiential work around relationships, okay? Like I said, hi Susan, like I said, we are in the middle of our relationship, or not in the middle, we're starting the relationship module. So everything I'm doing for this month on will be about relationships. Now, there are relationships you can have with yourself, there are relationships you can have with others, and then there are relationships you have with your source or the universe or God or whatever you want to call that connection. So there are 3 different kinds of relationships that we will be discovering together during the Essence of Being Conscious Leadership Academy relationship module, all right? You can come live and see us April 20th because we're doing a one-day about relationships, so bring your partners round and round, or even if you don't have a partner and you want one, bring them on, and even if you don't want a partner, come anyway because it's all about relationships, self, others, and your connection, okay? So that's the next event, live event coming up. Now, I just thought it was interesting, though, that Facebook shut me down. They shut down the ad around men are dogs and the woman is always right. So what does that mean? You know, I was like looking at that going, I wonder if that's, I mean, I had more engagements on that than I've had on any other ad. But it's interesting that they decided that it goes in the line of hate, you know, that it has some kind of a hate thing. So all of a sudden, I don't know if you knew, but Facebook had this huge weird thing happen to it last week where you couldn't, there was just a lot of weird things happening with Facebook last week. So somewhere along the way, they have chosen to monitor some things about what you say on Facebook, so or ads that you place on there, and so they stopped my ad. Well, so I'm choosing to look at that as it's controversial, and clearly, like I said, it's a metaphor. And what it's a metaphor, part of it is, tomorrow you'll have to listen to the power call, but here's the thing, it's the woman is always right means that we each have a feminine and a masculine side to us. And if we as women or we as men could just acknowledge and listen to our feminine side, which is the intuitive side, okay? So women do the same thing. Sometimes men totally ignore their intuition, and so do women. And so it's the intuitive side, because your intuition is always right, okay? Your intuition is always right. So when I talk about the woman is always right, what I'm talking about is your feminine side, and how do you listen to that, whether you're a man or woman, because we do have those dualities within us. We have those different aspects of female, male within us, and they stand for certain things, okay? So when I say the woman is always right, meaning that if you would just listen sometimes, not to your mind or not to logic necessarily, but intuition and your emotional side is your receiving side, okay? And it is also your feminine side. So we all have that, men and women. So my thought is sometimes we talk ourselves out of things because our left brain gets in the middle there, and our masculine side comes in and says, no, let me talk through this in a logical way. And our female side of our brain gets pushed away or gets pushed aside, which really is that intuitive connected part. And what I have found over the many, many years I've been doing this is that our intuition is always right. The question is, how do you know when it's your intuition or not, right? So tomorrow night, stay tuned on that call, for the power call for that, so you can identify when is it my intuition, okay? So share this in your feed, in your Facebook, and also I'll answer any questions that you have on this as well. We're going to be sharing this all through all of our groups and our Facebook, Essence of Being Facebook groups, and also all of our groups that we have everywhere. So hi, Michelle. Hi. So instead of me pulling a card, which I normally do, I have my Essence of Being cards that I pull, and we talk about something that we can focus on for the week. We are going to be all about relationships this month. So I decided, instead of doing that, I wanted to share that with you about, maybe you can share with me in the feed what that meant to you. You know, when you hear men are dogs and the woman is always right, does that intrigue you? Does that piss you off? Does that make you go, yeah, that's right? Or, you know, what kind of response or reaction do you have when you hear that? That'll be an interesting little information to find out. But clearly Facebook doesn't like it. Okay. They don't get the irony, I guess. They don't understand metaphors. So I'm part of this grateful journal that our Essence of Being graduate, yay, she's not in the academy yet, but she will be, Vismaya. She created this gratitude journal, and she's also the ones who created the gratitude shirts and also all of our t-shirts, the Trust and Allow, the Until Recently, and also What You Focus On Expands, which you can get at essenceofbeing.com and go to our products. But anyway, this grateful journal, it's a 52-week journal, and I have week 52. That's my week. So I wanted to end the year of people doing their gratitude journal. It's something that you can write every week what you're grateful for. Okay? So I always feel like the law of appreciation is really important in relationships. And appreciation means you're rising to that vibration. You raise your vibration to that level of appreciation for yourself and for others. So if you're in a relationship now, or if you'd like to be in a relationship, it doesn't really matter. I want you to focus on one of the relationships that you've had recently, if you're not in one, or the one you're in now, and focus on one thing that you can appreciate about that person. Just one thing. It can be very small, like he brings me coffee in the morning, or she makes a meal for me. Okay? So appreciate one thing. And then when you do that, when you think of that, it raises your vibration up a little bit. And so because of law of attraction, when you appreciate something or you have gratitude, okay, around something, it's a higher vibration. And because of that, when you're sending that out, because of law of attraction, it attracts back to you. In other words, you're sending that out and you get another signal back. Now, what can happen in a relationship is one of two things. You either appreciate them, okay, and ignore all the rest, and one of two things can happen. Either they raise their vibration and match yours so that they give you appreciation back, or at least they raise their vibration up enough to where they are appreciating again, because we can do that for each other because of our vibrations, all right? So that can happen. They raise their vibration too. Now, or if that doesn't happen, it goes through that person. And that appreciation goes through the person and hits somewhere else. It pings like the radio tower, like the cell tower. It pings appreciation somewhere. And so that appreciation comes back to you because of law of attraction. Because what you vibrate out, you attract back. Okay? It matches. Now, whether or not it comes from that person or not may or may not happen, but what will happen absolutely 100% because of the law of appreciation, another universal law, okay? Because of that, you will attract appreciation back to you. Now, it may come from someone else, it may come from somewhere else, but either way, you get what you want, which is to feel appreciated, which is to feel acknowledged, which is to feel like you're important, which is to feel gratitude and valued, okay? So what I wrote in this gratitude journal, and you can get this as well online, this gratitude journal, 52 weeks of writing your gratitude, what you're grateful for, to keep your appreciation levels up, to keep your gratitude energy up, okay? Which will just keep your vibration higher than if you didn't. So what I wrote was, ask yourself this question, and I'm on week 52, okay? Ask yourself this question. Is it easier for me to give or receive? For many of us, it is much easier to give, so we may have been taught that it is better to give than receive. And I teach this all the time, all around the world, all the workshops. So those of you who've taken any of the Essence of Being workshops or the one days or anything online, you know this to be true. Okay? When someone gives you a compliment and you receive it with grace and gratitude, it gives them a gift back. You are energetically telling them that they matter. When you receive, you are giving. And when you give and they receive it, you get something back. Okay? So it's the same energy. Giving and receiving is the same energy. Next time you receive a compliment, I want you to pause this week. This is my challenge to you this week. When you get a compliment from someone, I want you to pause and take a breath and say, thank you. Don't say anything else but thank you. Don't try to give one back. Don't try to say, yeah, but you are too. Because a lot of times that's what we do, and we negate the actual energy that we're wanting to receive. In other words, a lot of times we feel like there's strings attached, so we don't receive. Or somebody says something to us and our knee-jerk reaction is to say something right back to them. But we don't get to really allow ourselves to receive it, okay? So just say thank you and just breathe it in. And if you feel like it a little bit, give it a beat or two or three. And if you want to say something back, you can. People in relationships do this all the time with I love you. They say I love you. When they listen, are they going to say it back to me? So a lot of times people will say I love you because they want to hear it back to them. And it has become such a knee-jerk reaction. Someone says I love you too. It really doesn't come in. So pause. If someone gives you a compliment or somebody says I love you, anything like that, if they're trying to give you something, you just pause, take a big breath in, and say thank you. And then, if you feel like it, you can say something back to them. Really breathe it in. So the urge may be to return the compliment, but don't. Receiving authentically is the gift that you give them. So practice receiving, whether it to be a compliment or a gift. You will find that you are bestowing a gift on the giver as well. If not receiving is socially acceptable, isn't it? but in my world, it's spiritually inappropriate. So that's what I say on week 52 here, if you can see it, all right, for this gratitude journal. So you might want to pick up one of these and be grateful, because gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can be in, especially when you're in the middle of not wanting to be that way, is just find one thing that you appreciate, okay, about that person. And it'll level you up, it'll raise your vibration, and you're ready to appreciate more and get more back in return. So definitely, though, listen tomorrow night for Men Are Dogs and the Woman Is Always Right, for our power call. And I really am curious as to what you think, why Facebook shut me down because of that. And again, it's a metaphor. Hello, I don't think men are dogs, okay? But it's a metaphor, and there are a lot of similarities, all right? So I just wanted to share that with you and get your feedback and see what you thought. So until you see me again on Friday, I'm going to say you have been purged.